Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about 8 safe tips for driving in rush hour. If you are like the majority of people and you have to drive during rush hour, it can be quite frustrating and quite annoying. But I'm going to give you 8 simple tips that will help you lose that frustration, stay calmer, and much more importantly, be safer when driving in rush hour. Let's get right into the video. Tip number 1 is to allow more time for travel. So you probably already know this if you drive during rush hour often, but rush hour can be unpredictable. Rush hour traffic can be unpredictable. So you should allow some extra time to get to where you need to go. For instance, if you are driving during rush hour to work, you're going to work during rush hour, and you expect that it's going to take you about 30 minutes, you think it's going to take you about a half an hour, well, allow yourself 40 minutes or 45 minutes, okay? You want to tack on, you want to add on 10 to 15 extra minutes for the unpredictability factor of driving during rush hour. So allow some extra time for travel. Safe driving tip number 2 is don't follow too closely. I know that it's tempting to decrease your following distance when you're driving and there's a lot of traffic. When you're driving during rush hour, you feel like you can drive closer to the car in front of you, but I cannot emphasize this enough. You should be keeping the same safe following distance during rush hour that you would keep when it's not rush hour, when you're driving at a regular speed. So basically, just make sure that you're maintaining a safe following distance, because even if you're traveling at a slow speed, if you're following too closely, okay, during rush hour and the person in front of you slams on their brakes, guess what? Just like that, you're gonna rear end them. You could probably rear end them. It's as simple as that. Tip number 3 for safe driving during rush hour is drive with the flow of traffic, but don't speed. Now, during rush hour, you know, let's say that the speed limit is 50 kilometers an hour. You're probably going to be driving 20, 30 kilometers an hour. It's very rare that you'll be driving the speed limit during rush hour, so don't try and drive the speed limit. And if the flow of traffic is slower than the speed limit, just go with the flow. If the flow of traffic is by any chance faster than the speed limit, don't go with the flow, just go the maximum safe and legal speed that you can drive, right? So drive with the flow of traffic, but don't speed. Don't go over the speed limit, okay? Tip number 4 for driving during rush hour, and this is especially crucial if you drive during rush hour traffic often, like on a daily basis. You want to try a different route. Now, most people take the same route to work every day. I personally, my travel time is not really during rush hour. I'm fortunate enough that, you know, I basically don't have to drive during rush hour, during severe rush hour, but I change up my route all the time anyways, just because it changes it up and it makes the day a little bit more enjoyable and the commute a little bit more enjoyable. But if you're driving during rush hour, try a different route, because just changing up the main road that you use, you know, might seem like it'll take you the same amount of time to get to where you need to go or from where you need to go, like to work or from work, but you might be able to save yourself 20-25% of your commute time just by changing up the route. So just try a different route and see if it helps. And you can, you know, you can create a variety of different routes to get to where you need to go and find the one that literally will get you there in the fastest way possible, okay? Tip number 5 is to be productive during your drive, and it will keep you happy. So, you know, one of the main reasons that people feel frustrated during rush hour is because they're sitting there and they're not doing anything that they need to do. You know, in their mind, they're like, I gotta go home, I gotta make dinner, gotta pack lunches, I gotta go to the gym, but I'm sitting here in traffic. Well, guess what? If you can manage to be productive when you're sitting there in rush hour traffic, it'll keep you happy. What are some things that you can do to be productive? Well, one thing that you can do is organize your mind. So organize your day. If you're going to work, figure out the order of what, you know, the tasks that you need to accomplish and in what order, what priority they stand in your mind. And then, you know, that's being productive. You can make a phone call if it's legal to do so on your hands-free phone set. You know, only do it if it's legal to make a phone call hands-free where you live. You can, make a phone call one of your parents, call your siblings, call a relative, call a client, try and make a sale. You can listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook. There are so many things that you can do to be productive, okay? Tip number 6 is going to be listen to music that you actually like. It can be so frustrating sitting in rush hour traffic and listening to a radio commercial or a song on the radio that you don't like. So figure out how to get your phone or your music playing device, your iPod, or whatever the case is, your MP3 player, hooked up to your car and get a playlist of songs that you love, that you would happily listen to often, and get a playlist of like 200 songs, okay? And this way they're not gonna be on repeat like every day, and just play that playlist, and that's going to allow you to listen to music that you like, music that's going to keep you happy, music that's going to pump you up. And don't be afraid to dance in your car. Dance around. Like, this person beside me is looking at me like, hey, what's wrong with this bald dude in this car? But you know what? You got to dance in the car. It's as simple as that. You're sitting in rush hour traffic, it will keep you happy. It's literally as simple as that. Safe tip number 7, and this is for absolute safety, is don't weave through lanes when you're driving in rush hour traffic. I know that it might be tempting. When you see an opening in that lane, you want to go and get it. When you see an opening in the other lane, you want to go and get it, right? It's tempting to weave back and forth because you feel like it's going to save you time. Research has been done. Experiments have been done. It really won't save you much time, if any at all. More often than not, it'll probably slow you down. I know that the confidence in you is saying, it won't slow me down. Go ahead. I'm just going to let a few people go through. There we go. I know that the confidence in you is saying, it won't slow me down. I know which lane to choose. I know, but I'm telling you, experiments have been done. Research has been done. It's more likely to slow you down than speed you up. So just don't weave through traffic, because not only will it probably slow you down, but it will put you at risk, at an increased risk for getting into an accident, okay? Last but not least, the 8th tip for driving in rush hour traffic, and this is especially true if you drive in rush hour traffic on a daily basis or often, you want to try to alter your times, your event times or your work times to work with not driving during rush hour. So for instance, if you work, 9 to 5, but, changing your hours from 8 to 4 would allow you to avoid that rush hour traffic, well, guess what? Try and change your hours. Or at least maybe try and change your hours twice a week, 3 times a week, whatever the case is. Because if you can avoid that rush hour traffic a couple of days a week, or try for every day, well then guess what? It's gonna make your commute and your life much less stressful. It's as simple as that. And that's basically it. In this video, I've gone over 8 safe tips for driving in rush hour. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.